All homeroom teachers are receiving an SEL Weekly Implementation Log. This is one of our methods of data collection for our SEL SIT goal, as well as the goal that we put on our individual professional development plans. So we're going to take a quick look at what this looks like. And yes, it is a weekly log. It's only going to take a minute or two, so don't panic. We need to do this on the last working day of the week. Of course, that's normally Fridays, but if it's a holiday, whatever that last working day is when you will complete this. I know it can sometimes be difficult and aggravating to find things in your drive, so just in case you don't do this already, if you star things in your drive, then when you go, you can click on starred and you easily have things accessible for you. So that helps me a little bit rather than having to search through everything that I have. So there's a way to pull that up. Let's go back to our log. Since mine looks a little different from yours. Well, I do want to show you this before I go to the live form that you see. Miss Mitchell did not want your names connected to this. She wanted you to feel comfortable with being honest, because that's what we need. We need honest, accurate data. So your name is not asked for, and I want to make sure you see on the settings that it is not clicked. We are not collecting email addresses. So let me preview so we can see what you guys are going to see. This is what the log looks like. It will be time stamped, so therefore if we could take out the question for you putting the date, because we'll be able to tell that. So percentage of brain breaks complete. I did all 3 every day. I did 2 a day. I did 1 a day. Oh, I did horrible this week. We had a lot going on, or I went on a field trip, and I'm going to do better next week. So let's see. Of course, it's me. I'm going to do perfect. All right. Now, here you are going to choose as many of these topics that you addressed that week. It may not have been a formal lesson. You may have just had to work out an argument with students, and you encourage them to use communication skills and relationship skills. Or you said, how are you feeling right now? Well, because you felt that way, you just made a bad choice. What can we do when we feel that way? So don't think you have to have like in your lesson plan specifically sign, that you did something. The first few options up here are lessons from the Mind Up book. We did spend money on the Mind Up book. We do need to be using the Mind Up book. I know that you guys did Unit 1 at the very beginning of the year, but I certainly hope that you are still talking about the brain that you guys have learned, and mindfulness. If you're doing your brain breaks, you're doing that every day. So you would just click these things. These 5 areas here are the core competencies of social and emotional intelligence that we are definitely trying to increase. I talked about the brain. I did my brain breaks. So we were saying focus. We didn't do about senses. I talked a few times about understanding how other people feel. Oh, we did a kindness activity. We worked in groups, and we talked about getting along with each other. Did students demonstrate understanding of the concepts presented in the lessons or the topics that you did in class? Got it? 95% or more of my kids understood what we were talking about. Now that may not mean 95% or more constantly are doing the things. It just means you feel like they do understand, even if they fail to make the right choice sometimes, just like we all do. I'm going to say I think maybe about 75% got it. And I feel like students were pretty engaged in the lesson. This is how engaged, very engaged, not engaged. This is optional. It would be wonderful if you notice anything special that week, or notice any student improvements, or you're having maybe a problem is growing. It would be great if we had any observations or notes or comments. So if you can ever add anything there, that would be wonderful. And then you just submit. Make sure you get this, guys. If not, something went wrong. The internet connection might have went down or something. So make sure you get this confirmation. There is an option of putting the form on your phone. Again, I prefer it on the computer, but you can try it both ways. So all you would do, go to your email and pull up the form. So here Yeah, that lighting's impossible. Well, the form is on my phone screen right now. Woo. If you click on you're going to have these 3 little dots up there on the top of your screen. And it's right there. And if you click on them dots, you can say add to home screen. Boop. Name it, whatever, weekly, and add. So then it will be on your screen. So that's a lot of apps there. Oh, okay. So here on my screen, I have this little icon. Click, and there it is. And we have tested it. You can click, you can submit. If you had some problem, we would figure it out. But we've tried it on a few phones, and it is working okay. Again, just like when you do it on the computer, you need to make sure you get the confirmation that your response was submitted. And that's just because, internet, anything could happen and you hit submit and it not go all the way through. So make sure you get that response. If not, then you need to hit submit again.
Hey everybody, Renee has shared with you her part of the video. I just want to encourage you to do this. As she said, we are not taking names. However, we do need the data. So not doing that really puts it back on you to fill this out every week. It will literally take you a couple of minutes. But if I'm not getting data back, then I am going to have to get name stamps and find out who's turning it in and who's not. So if everybody will just do your part on Friday afternoon and send this in, that would be great. Be honest in the data. Data is no good if it's not the truth. So just tell us exactly what you're doing, if it means what you're not doing. That's okay. This is an important concept for us to teach, and we've got to figure out the best way to do it. If it's mined up, great. If it's not mined up, the data will help us see that as well. But teaching social emotional learning does have to happen. It's just how does it need to happen at Selma Elementary? So give us the feedback, and as long as you're giving us the feedback, nobody has to micromanage it. Thank you. Have a great day.